Okay, hello and welcome to this weather update. It's around 7:30 p.m. on March 6th, 2020, and here's the coastal storm that is offshore. That is far enough offshore that we're not really getting impacts that are too bad. But if we look at the radar here, you will see that you can see we got some light rain across our area on Long Island and heavier rain over New Jersey, as you can see. And that's been the case all day long. Let's pull this in a little more here. So you can see this. There's the heavier rain over New Jersey. You can see some yellows. It's been there all day. They've been dealing with heavier rain, whereas Long Island has mostly been dealing with lighter rain. Um, but you can see it looks like it's coming down pretty good over there in New Jersey. And I'm curious to see how much rainfall they've gotten over there. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Let me get the latest observation from some. Now, certain sites aren't reporting. So 39 light rain at Atlantic City. Let's see what they've been getting there. So they've been getting, yeah, they got, I would say, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain down there, whereas we have hardly seen. We've seen some very light rain. The rain seems to be getting a little heavier tonight. Let's look at Tom's River and see. They're not reporting anything. I bet you their station, they're not reporting. All right, they are reporting precipitation. So 0.47. So about a half an inch over there. So they've gotten a lot more than we have. Now, yes, you'll notice offshore there are hurricane force wind warnings in effect. Um, and gale warnings and storm warnings in effect too, because the storm is bombing out. But you'll see here, 44. You can see we're starting to see the winds gust up to 22. It's not, even though we haven't had a whole lot of raining, we just had on and off light rain. It's not pleasant walking around out there at all with that wind blowing. So let's take a look at the current observations here across the area. So you can see here temperatures are mainly in the upper 30s and low 40s, safely above freezing. So as far as right now we go, we're not seeing any snow, but we are seeing some wind gusts. There's a 36-mile-an-hour wind gust over at this station right here. And we can't get anything this far. There is a station there, but I guess it's down. Look at this station here. 35. This is way out in the middle of the ocean here off Nantucket, probably 100 miles at least southeast of it. We have 54-mile-an-hour wind gusts at this station. So let's take a look at the observations here. Wave height's 13 feet. Wind gusts 42. Wind speed is sustained at 42. With the gusts at 54. So this is boat buoy 44008 that is reporting these conditions. And the conditions, 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts at Nantucket. And this is where the storm is. It's right over here, intensifying. Let's go and take a look at what it looks like on the MODIS satellite as well to get an idea here what we have on the MODIS. Look at that too. This is what it looks like on the MODIS here. So here's your storm right here, your coastal storm, and here is the inland storm that's transferring its energy off to the coastal storm. But the coastal storm is too far out to give us anything more than a little bit of rain and some wind. So let's take a look at the models here, and we will start off looking at the surface this time. So this is the storm right here. Let me change the view over to the northeast so you can get a better idea. I think that should show up pretty nice on there. So you can see how tight those isobars are wrapped. This is the GFS right here. So this is a pretty significant coastal storm. But you can see it tracks mostly offshore. And look at this. As it moves along, look at these heavy snow bands set up. Literally, if this thing was about 100 miles further west, we'd be dealing with some snow. But that's not happening. Instead, it'll be a snowstorm for the fishes. What should I say? The fish. It's proper English. But you can see, look at how tight this storm is down at 962. So this is a very intense low that is offshore. But again, if you want if you want to experience some snow, you got to go offshore to get it, because we're not going to see anything, any accumulating snow from this whatsoever. If we were to look at the total snowfall here, you will see. It's a shame it doesn't do over the water, but you can see barely anything. Maybe they'll get an inch or two. It's extreme southeastern Massachusetts. Other than that, maybe a little bit inland. But it's just not that much. Let's look at the NAM 12 kilometer and see what the NAM has. Similar layout. So if we go back to the view here, you will see here is our storm here, and look at again at how tight those isobars are. Very strong winds in here. You have very warm water you're working with, and so it's definitely getting some energy from that and really exploding, as you can see. But the heavy snow, look at that, just offshore. Well, not just offshore. There's a little snow offshore that might brush extreme eastern Long Island, southeast Massachusetts. But other than that, we're not going to see much of anything. Maybe you'll see a few flakes. If we're lucky, we might see a few flakes. That's all we seem to be getting this year as far as snow goes. So there's your storm. Let's take a look and see what the winds, what the NAM has for the winds, because this is really impressive. Here's the NAM on the winds, and you can see, look at the winds field explode on this. So these purples here are winds that could be near hurricane force, sustained winds. This is quite a storm. Look at that. That is quite a storm. We're going to definitely want to look at that on windy.com later. That is something. But again, luckily this thing is all, if this thing was closer, boy, not only would we be getting pounded with snow, we'd probably have a blizzard here. But fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, it is staying offshore. So we're not going to see a big snowstorm. But this could have been. Look at how strong the winds are on the NAM on this. I want to see what the GFS has for the winds here. A similar look. Look at these. When GFS actually is more intense, we're talking sustained winds up near. So this is hurricane force here. Crazy to see the storm explode the way it has. Look at that. Boom. Just exploded. That's crazy. That's crazy right there. That is crazy. And here's a look at it again here. You know what I'm curious about? If there's any lightning in the center of the storm. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see if there's any lightning. We got to find the lightning thing first. There it is. Let's see if there is any lightning off the center of the storm here, out to sea. It might be too far for lightning. Yeah, there is light. Actually, yeah, there is lightning way offshore over here. That's way offshore. I was curious because sometimes when you get a storm that strong, you can see that. You can get thunder snow too, but I'm not seeing any of that. Let's take a look at Let's take a look at earthnullschool.net and show you why the storm is intensifying the way it is. Because you can see, look at this. You can see this is the wave heights that are, and there's some pretty strong wave heights here. There's your storm right there. Let's change this to miles per hour. Come on, where's miles per hour? 63 mile an hour winds here in this. 56. So this is pretty strong here. It's a pretty strong. And these are sustained winds. Let's see what the waves are, because the waves have to be just crazy high. Let's see. 17 foot. So yeah, you're gonna have some 20 footers in there for sure. Maybe more than that. There's 19 feet. But the main reason I put this in is to show you the sea surface temperature anomaly in this area. Look at that. That's exactly my point about the sea surface temperature anomaly. Look at how much warmer the water is than it's supposed to be. This is the anomaly. So this is the difference. This is the way. Look south of Long Island here. All right. So we are 4.6 degrees above normal, almost 5 degrees above normal. And look at this, over 11 degrees above normal in this stretch of water right here, which isn't too far away. So this is adding fuel to the storm, and this is not a good thing as we go into hurricane season at all whatsoever. So looking at the actual sea surface temperatures in these areas, 63 degrees. You get to 72. This is not that far off Delmarva, maybe 80 miles or so, 80 to 100 miles off Delmarva. You're dealing with water temperatures in the 70s. That's insane. And then if we get a little closer, you see water temperatures at 50 degrees. So the water's warmer than it's supposed to be. As we get closer, it's down to 43. This is still warm water. It's still a very big concern. And this climate crisis continues to get worse and out of control. And I'm going to have another video tonight talking about, it's going to be a little bit of a rant because it's about the media, and the media is completely overreacting, so you know what they're overreacting to, and we'll talk about that. But this is a weather update. So let's get back to the weather. We're not going to waste our time in this video on that. So let's go ahead and look back at the surface here and see what is going to be happening with the temperatures as we head on through, and the winds. Well, we'll look at that too. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot to talk about. So today it felt kind of cool out there, and tomorrow will be too. Temperatures are going to probably be in the low to mid 40s. And then for Sunday, we warm right back up again. Look at this. Up near 50, probably 50s in New Jersey. And then next week looks very warm. Monday, we're going to be in the 60s, possibly 70 in New Jersey. And this is all because of this big ridge building in the east. And then look at Wednesday, still warm. Thursday, we see a little bit of a cool down with the front. Friday, we're just going to be above normal, and then more warm air, and more warm air. So the whole next period looks very much above normal, as you can see here, looking at this. Look at that. So we're going to get some really crazy ridging. We may be setting up for the warmest March on record, folks, at the rate some of these models look. And the reason why this is happening is if we go and we look at the upper air, you'll see it's very bad upper air pattern. So you see all the cold air is locked up in the Arctic, and we're not going to see any of that. It's all locked up there. It's like it's just like the southern hemisphere almost. The southern hemisphere has it just traps the cold air, and it doesn't come down at all. And this is very abnormal to see. So let's go look at the upper air, as I was saying, 500 millibars. So this is the GFS here. All right, so here is that trough that created that storm. All right, moves offshore. And then after that, we're just stuck with this huge ridge across the whole country. And we do have a ridge over Alaska, as you see here, which would normally help to pull the cold air down, but there's just nothing here. There's no cold air. It's all in the Arctic. It's trapped up there. And we have this very strong, almost fire hose jet here, zonal flow. So it's just going to be a very crappy month. Look at this huge ridge in the east. So it's just... This winter is ending. Is just getting the worse and worse. This weather is just unbelievably sucks. All right. Well, let's go back to this. All right. Let's go back to the CONUS and we'll look at the surface and show you how this translates to the surface. So here is that storm going away. We got this high that's going to be building in, and we'll look at the skies too. Here's Sunday. We got the high over us, and then we get that ridge, and that southwest flow is going to pump all the warm air up across our area. And we have this front moving through, very weak front, and maybe a very small area high pressure. And another system comes through on Thursday, and then we got this weak ridge, and then the next system comes through, and then the next system, and then the next system. It's just, and you can see what's going to be happening. It's going to be warm. It'll be one system after another. So not only is it going to suck and be warm, it's also going to be crappy skies probably. So now we'll go and look at the skies and see if we can get any clear days at all. Because I was hoping yesterday would be clear, and then it clouded up quick. And so here we go. Tomorrow, the clouds are slow to clear on the GFS. We finally got out of them. But look what happened Sunday. We got to deal with some cirrus over our area. So we'll be dealing with that junk. And then Monday, more junk. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday. But look what happens, because of this zonal flow, the next system rolls right in, and we junk back up again. So it's a very bad pattern. Look at this. We're going to be stuck in a miserable pattern as we get into the middle of March. It's going to be awful. All right, I'm going to hardly be able to get to the Pine Barrens. This pattern absolutely sucks. All right, let's look at the NAM and see if the NAM is any better as far as the sky cover goes. So here's your storm moving away. It slowly clears out by the afternoon. Maybe we can get some clearer skies. Maybe more likely over New Jersey. This is around noon or 1 o'clock. Maybe we'd see some clearer skies. But then you can see what happens on Sunday. The cirrus kind of rolls in on us and messes things up. So let's look at that. Let's go and look at, let's just have a little fun here. We'll go back to GFS and we'll go and look at Flagstaff and see what the weather's like in Flagstaff. Let's see if they're dealing with all the junk, all these clouds. So let's see. All right, they're dealing with some clouds this weekend. Looks like they're going to be dealing with some clouds too. But then as we get toward next week, a little less cloudiness. They're still dealing with some clouds though too, but a little less than we are. Okay, so let's go back to the windy.com model. Let's go look at that one now. This is the Euro. Because this is going to show the wind from the storm here that we got. The winds are incredible with this thing. I mean, look, a little too much. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks like it almost has an eye to it. This is what happens when you have warmer than normal ocean waters. So this is the windy.com model. Look at that. This is a sustained wind, almost near hurricane force, folks. That's crazy. We're not even looking at the wind gusts here. All right, and this thing is going to get even more intense. Let's move it along to 11. So there's going to probably be some coastal beach erosion, maybe some high surf. Here's what it looks like tomorrow. Actually, this is what it looks like midnight tonight. And then we'll go look at it tomorrow at 6 a.m. as it pulls away. This thing is just explosive, folks. This is just an explosive 62-mile-an-hour winds. These are sustained winds, folks. I don't have it on wind gusts. This is insane. This thing's probably going to wind up slamming Europe again. All right, now I'm going to move this back, and we're going to look at the wind gusts on this thing, because this thing is just crazy. Wait till I put this in wind gusts. Look at these wind gusts. So, look at this. 112? Oh, my God. That is crazy. Look at some of these wind gusts that they're going to see. This is going to be a very... This might almost have some type of tropical characteristics to it, because you can see there's a little bit of an eye. Again, when you have such warm water, what do you expect? This is what happens. This is the climate emergency we're in. 92-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But the media would rather talk about some stupid cold going around. Let's 84. So you get an idea. But luckily, we are going to avoid most of the high winds. They're going to be well offshore. But this is going to be one storm to watch, and I'll keep my eye on it for you for sure. But looking at our area as far as Long Island goes, let's see. This is 8 p.m. tonight. We're dealing with wind gusts 32. Yeah, that's about right. Let's see what happens tomorrow. So the worst of the wind avoid, but Montauk could get into some stronger winds. They could get in some wind gusts near 50. Nantucket's going to get creamed. They're going to have wind gusts over 60 miles an hour probably. And here's tomorrow. So it looks like we avoid the worst of the winds, but it's going to be breezy tomorrow for sure. Now let's see if we can get these clouds out of here. This is 8 in the morning. We'll still be dealing with the clouds. This is the Euro model. Let's see what we got by noon here. By noon, it's slowly clearing out. Looks like it's clear over New Jersey. So maybe at least New Jersey or Western Long Island will have some semblance of a clear sky tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. Because Sunday, we got to deal with that cirrus. I don't know exactly how much, but we'll be dealing with it. And then after that, folks, we're stuck in the junk for a while. So what can I tell you? Well, that does conclude this weather update. Again, this is the new scary normal we're in. This is what we really should be scared about, and that's going to be in another video later tonight. Take care.